I for the Lost presents 1 Corinthians 13, the love chapter. Now, I remember the love chapter, 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, does not boast, it is not self-seeking, it's not easily angered, keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. That's first couple verses of it. Um, that's how most of us remember it. Now, surprise, it's changed, and hopefully this is big enough for you to read. It's kind of hard for me to read. I'm doing this on my phone, but let's see, with 13:1, though I speak with the tongues of men and angels, I have not charity. I become a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith, and that I could move mountains, and have not charity, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, though I give my body to be burned, have not charity, it profit me nothing. Charity suffereth long, and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself, and not puffeth up, doth not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, and not easily provoketh, thinketh no evil, rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth, beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. Charity never faileth, but whatever there be prophecy, they shall fail. Wherever there be tongues, they shall cease. Wherever there is knowledge, it shall vanish away. For we know in part, we prophesy in part, but that which is perfect. I'm sorry, my eyes are having trouble. Uh, but when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away. When I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know, even as also I am known. And now abideth faith, hope, and charity, these three, but the greatest of these is charity. Now, I don't remember charity being in there that much. And there's a lot of grammar errors. Not to mention a lot of other places where things have changed. Words have changed. And you can check in your own Bibles, and I'm sure you'll see it's not what you remember. And that your King James Version is the same as this. I haven't looked in the NIV or Living Translation or anything, but I'm sure those have changed as well. Um, I'm hoping that there's a version out there that hasn't, but it seems like all translations have been changing. Now, the difference between love and charity. Love in the dictionary.com. Love is a profoundly tender, passionate affection for another person, a feeling of warm personal attachment or deep affection as for a parent, child, or friend. Charity, a generous action or donations to aid the poor, ill, or helpless, something given to a person or a person in need, alms. Now, so you're saying that here in the Bible now that charity is greater than faith and hope, giving to the poor, you know, that doesn't make sense. So I went and I looked up in my Strong's Bible, which is my Bible with Strong's Concordance, which is actually um, an app on my phone. And I took a shot here so that everyone could see. Charity is G26. And you can see it here in a couple verses. It's the same through all of them. You're welcome to download the same app. If you just look up King James Bible with Strong's, you'll find it, and you can look that up. I encourage you to do your own research. Now, G26, check this out. It's actually agape, one of the four types of love in the Bible. Now, why would agape love, which is uh, divine love, be listed as charity? I can understand how charity could be a form of agape, but it's not agape in itself. God doesn't give us charity, He gives us love. And it even says here, love that is affection or benevolence, specifically a love feast, charity, dear love. That that doesn't make any sense. And I went through. It has, I believe it was, here it is, 116 occurrences and 106 verses. And I went and looked. And what's funny is it shows up as charity 27 times. It actually showed 28 in the actual uh, concordance, which was odd to me. Um, there's actually 12 types of love in the Greek, but only four types actually show up in the Bible. And agape is the greatest one. That's divine love. Oh, I went too far. Okay, Wikipedia here on the left says agape, ancient Greek, is a Greco-Christian term referring to love, the highest form of love, charity, and the love of God for man and man for God, not to be confused for philia, brotherly love. It embraces universal, unconditional love and transcends that persists regardless of circumstance. Um, Philia, that's where Philadelphia, city of brotherly love, comes from. But agape, it talks about it here being, the love of God for man and man for God. But it sneaks that charity in there, which that's not agape. But this is from Thayer's over here. It says properly love which centers a moral preference. So to a secular ancient Greek, focuses on preference. Likewise, the verb form in antiquity means to prefer. Typically refers to divine love, what God prefers. So, I kind of believe Thayer's, which as a reference, better than Wikipedia, which you can, uh, I could go in there and edit Wikipedia. Anyone could. So, I mean, which one would you consider more trustworthy? I consider Thayer's. Um, and then here's some additional in depth on Thayer's on the G26 agape. Um, you know, a purely biblical and ecclesiastical word. Um, and it goes on and shows you its first appearance was in the Song of Solomon. Affection, goodwill, love, benevolence, and it doesn't quite mention charity here. You know, and then it talks about uh, of the love of God towards men right there. You know, and it goes on, and you can find all the information online there. I just looked up Thayer's Greek lexicon, Strong's G26, agape, and it brought me right to this. I know it has a different verse there, but really it's the same thing. Um, Now, think of what you know. Why is agape taught as divine love if it means charity? Does God teach that charity is greater than faith, or does He teach that your works will not get you into heaven? The way it's worded now, it makes it sound like you know, if you give to the poor, the needy, and you do great works, that's greater than faith and hope. And we know that's not true. We know that we need to be filled with divine love and show divine love. And remember, when you're reading these verses, to pray, pray, pray. Because if you don't, you could be led down a false path. And I know not every place we all think has been changed, and I could be just as guilty as anyone else of seeing something that I think is a change that isn't. But I'm 100% sure here. If you have any comments or anything, you feel I'm wrong, you want to comment on some of the other changes within the love chapter, please feel free to comment on that. I'd love to hear what you have to say. But remember, when you're praying, pray that God will help you see the differences uh, between the truth and the deception, so that you can have the discernment to know. Um, More than anything nowadays, we need to have that discernment and know, brothers and sisters, that I love you and I'm praying for you, and that uh, I'm here for you. If you need me to pray for anything specific, feel free to message me, um, and I'll send you my email where you can send me an email with what your prayer requests are. Remember to pray. Remember to speak to God daily, and He'll guide you. He'll provide for you, and, and take care of you in all you do. And remember, faith, hope, and love. The greatest of these is love.